Today on Bridges, we are going to talk about all things baby, how to go from surviving to thriving when you bring your new bundle of joy home. Welcome to Bridges. I'm Monica Schmelter, and I'm so glad that you could join us today for Bridges. We are going to talk with Stephen and Crystal North today, just kind of catch up with them. They are the couple that prayed for 14 years to have a baby, and now they are pregnant and getting ready for a baby. Crystal and Stephen, so good to see you guys today.
Good to be back. Thank you for having us back.
Well, Crystal, we can see baby Journey now.
Yes. Yes, she is definitely out there. We are almost 32 weeks tomorrow.
32 weeks.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Stephen, does it seem real to you, all those years of prayer? And
it does. There is a small hint of surrealness, but extreme excitement. I'm ready. I'm super ready.
You are so ready.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
I know they're
so
gonna team up
awesome.
against me, but that's okay. I can deal with it.
When you say team up against you, what
Like, they're gonna want their way all the time. I'm not gonna get my way ever. That's gone. Like, I got it some of the time with her. That's gone.
No,
When
you're
Journey
gonna
gets
have
here,
now, two against one.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
So what kinds of things have you been doing? I know you guys had like a gender reveal party.
Yes, we did. We are having a girl, and I was 95% sure that we were having a boy.
Really?
Yes, I just knew that we were having a boy. And Stephen, so we was kind of back and forth. He first wanted a boy, and then he changed and became like passionate about wanting a girl. And he's like, I know it's a girl. I know it's a girl. And whenever that balloon popped, it was amazing.
It was.
Like it was such a good moment, you know?
And so when the balloon popped, is that when you found out as a baby girl?
Yes.
So you didn't know up until that point?
We did not know. We went to a gender reveal a scan, and they gave my sister the gender in an envelope, and we had to wait a week before we found out.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, a lot of anticipation.
Yeah. Were you bugging her sister, Stephen? Were you saying, tell me, please, tell me?
I did ask. I didn't get any response. You told me no.
She said, it's a baby.
Yeah. But I did want to know, and I really, really did feel strongly that it was a girl. Uh-huh. And I did want it to be, I actually wanted twin boys, because it makes it easier on the ones that come after. You got big brothers, it makes it easier. And, but when I guess I just got caught up in the thought of it being a girl and daddy's girl. And I was like, you know what? I think I want a girl.
Aww.
So, and we're having one, so man, I'm super excited.
Yes.
I think I'm more excited than Crystal. I really do. I believe it. We be talking about that. I'd be like, man, babe, I think I'm more excited than you are.
Well, that's because I have back pains.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Well, she's going through a lot physically, and I know that you are too as a dad. There's all kinds of things. But so tell me, we've said her name, but how did you land on the name?
Okay, so he's laughing because I know. Wait, I was sitting on the chair when we were going over the name. I was reading my Bible, and then the name Journey came to my mind. Well, again, I thought it was a boy at the time. I said, Stephen, instead of it being Hezekiah, because it was going to be Hezekiah and Micah, I said, what do you think about Journey? Mm-hmm. And he said, from the bedroom, he said, I love it. Well, then he was on the phone with his dad one day, and his dad said, who came up with the name Journey? Because it was going to be Journey, whether it was a boy or a girl at this point. He said, who came up with the name Journey? And Stephen said, I did. I said, you did not.
I really do believe, I see it so differently in my mind.
You see it differently in your mind?
She came up and she was talking to me, and I said, hey, what you think about Journey? And she was like, I love it. I don't know why it's like backwards, but that's really how I
That
feel.
is not what happened at all.
I promise you, I believe that.
He dreamed
I
about it
can still
afterwards.
see it. Like, she walked up, we were talking, and I was like, what do you think about Journey? She was like, high five, and I'm like, yes.
So 100%.
That's how I feel like I
God
really
gave
do.
me that name. But yeah, so
But he believes that he did it.
he really
Well,
thinks.
you know, what we're seeing here today is nothing but pure joy.
Yes.
For an
Yes.
answered prayer, for a couple that
Yes.
have prayed for 14 years to have a baby. And now they're having a baby. It's a baby girl, and
Yeah.
her name is Journey.
Yeah.
Crystal thinks she came up with the name. Stephen is sure he did. So, yeah.
Yeah, but we know the truth.
Yeah, we
Her
do.
middle name is Hope.
Journey
And,
home.
and the reason for Hope, I mean, Journey obviously came because of a 14-year journey. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that she is going to go on an amazing journey in this life, ministering the gospel, telling many people about Christ, telling people our story. She is going to win many, many people to Christ. And I know that without a doubt. And Hope came because already she's given so many people hope.
Yeah.
You know, God's given people hope through the story. And so that's where Journey Hope came from.
It's a beautiful name, Stephen.
Yeah.
So good you could come up with all that.
I know. I was just like, man, that was amazing. High five God. She high fived me. I high fived God. I was like, man, this is awesome.
It was a moment.
Yeah, it
Overwhelming.
was.
So tell us about the preparations and the plans for getting ready for Journey Hope.
Yes. So I have been in full-on nesting mode.
Okay.
I've rearranged the entire house. Not just her room, the entire house. And
Yep.
so we've been doing that. We are getting the crib done right now. Baby shower's coming up this coming Saturday. So a baby shower is coming up, and we are just in full decoration mode. We've painted. I'm not allowed to lift anything.
So you
She
know what's
sneaks-
wonderful about that? She's not allowed to lift anything, but she's redecorating, so you get to do all the lifting. This
Yeah.
is beautiful.
She does sneak and bring in some groceries. I'd be like, what are you doing with that? She'd be like, it's eggs. I'd be like, but it's got weight to it.
The
I'll
eggs?
get it. Just set it there and just go in. I'll take it in there.
Yeah, he is very, very protective. Like, does not want me to carry anything. But I will sneak and move stuff, even though I'm not.
Well, I mean, I would think eggs would be pretty safe.
Yeah.
But if you don't want her to even lift the eggs, I'm good. We're all good with that. Aren't we good with that?
It's not like it's ostrich eggs, you know, small eggs. Or I'll come in, like, she'll order something, and I'll be like, how'd they get in the house? And she'll be like, they brought it in. I'll be like, no, they didn't. You brought that in, didn't you?
Uh-oh.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
Maybe I did, she says.
But yeah, we're just in a full nesting mode. We're getting a birth plan together, and yeah, we're excited.
Might I add that Journey's room is a lot nicer than ours. She's just like, she's got it going on. I think I'm just like, go in there and just, you know, accidentally fall asleep in her room. It's very comfortable. It's just like a very thin air, and it just makes you want to go to sleep. So I know she's going to sleep great in that room.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff on Facebook, and you have made beautiful preparations for her room and for all of that good stuff. Yeah. And you're like not just having a baby shower, you're having a baby shower.
Yeah.
Like lots and lots of people.
There's a lot of people who have been believing God with us for this 14 years, you know, and so they're going to be coming to the baby shower and celebrating with us. So far, the guest list is exceeding 100.
It's a big baby shower.
Yeah. But God has blessed us so much, even through this process, because not just with Journey, but, you know, with people who are partnering with us. I had a lady contact me who's an event planner who I didn't even know. And her name's Tanya from 50 Shades of Bling. And she contacted me and she said, God put it on my heart to plan your baby shower for free, to do the event for free. And I was like, okay, do you know how many people's going to be there? You know? And she's like, it doesn't matter. God laid it on my heart.
Aww.
And so God has just been providing. And so it's been awesome. You know, we're excited. And we're going to take some time to pray specifically at the baby shower for anybody there who's believing God for children, because we know a lot of people who struggle with fertility issues. So that's something we want to do too.
That is so wonderful. So today we are celebrating answered prayer. And for the Norths, that answered prayer is believing God for 14 years to have a baby. and finally they are pregnant, and Journey Hope will be here in just a few weeks. So we've been excited to share this journey, and I've shared this journey with you all through prayer of knowing that you really, really wanted a baby. And Crystal, watching you throw so many beautiful baby showers for other people, and like an event planner is doing yours, which is so awesome. What, Stephen, are some other preparations that you're making? Because like kind of, you know, a baby is a wonderful blessing, and a baby changes everything.
Yeah, just mentally, you know, I start to, you know, look at other children. I'll be like, man, that could be, you know, Journey, you know, doing that, you know, and just really excited about going out and getting stuff for her room. And I wake Crystal up like in the middle of the night, and I'll be like, we're having a journey. We're having a journey.
You wake her up in the middle of the night?
In the middle of the night and say, we're having a journey.
About 3 in the morning.
We're having a journey.
I wake up myself, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, man, God, we're about to have a daughter. And I'll wake up Crystal and be like, babe, we're having a journey. You know, because for so long, I mean, the things that we went through, the things we experienced, I mean, there was even this one time, you know, where, you know, Crystal, she had said before that she bled for a year straight, you know, and she would stop for like a week or two and go right back home. Like, she had, you know, had hemorrhaged one day, and she was like, I'm going to go get a hysterectomy. And we prayed, and I was like, babe, that's not what we need to do. And she listened. She didn't have to listen. You know, in today's society, so many people will say yes, and they'll go behind your back and do whatever, you know, but she said yes, and she did what she said. And that, to me, sticks out so much more than anything that has went on the entire time. Is she did not have to, I mean, because she was in pain. Yeah. She did not have to stick with what she said. She could have, you know, man, I'm at work, she's at home, she could have been like, you know what, I'm in pain, I got to go. And, you know, this whole story would be going different, you know, so that sticks with me. And, you know,
that sticks with you as a sacrifice that Crystal made, even though being in physical pain. Yeah. To listen to you and just to pray some more and hope some more. And now Journey Hope is coming. So he's waking you up in the middle of the night. Yeah. Yeah.
Almost every night.
Yeah. He'll wake me up, and he'll be like, babe, have you thought about what it's going to be like with me, you, and a daughter? And I'm like,
you're like, all three of us? All three of us going somewhere?
I'm like, of course I have. And he's such a cruiser. Like, he loves going on cruises. He's like, when's the earliest we can go on a vacation with her? And we have a map. I'm so excited about it. It's a world map that's hanging on, that we're going to hang on our wall. And every time we go somewhere together, we're going to put a little bow on it.
For all three of you. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, it has been so much fun to catch up with you guys. Thank you for coming to share with us about Journey Hope. When we come back, we're going to be joined by somebody else who's going to talk about how a baby changes everything.
You can purchase a copy of today's show for $15. Call us at 615-754-0039 or send a check to the address on the screen. Please mention the program number on the screen.
For more information on a guest, visit our website, ctntv.org.
When I truly turned my heart to the Lord, He took every sin I ever did away from me.
God really is your other half. God, He's the only person who can really, fill those holes and cracks in your heart that you're so wanting someone to fill.
It's no good to have a big dream if you're not putting yourself in motion to go after that.
The blood of Christ is the only cure. It gets down to the root of every single thing that ails us. There's not an addiction, there's not a generational curse, there's not any root of sin, there's nothing that the blood of Jesus cannot cleanse.
Visit monicaschmelter.com to schedule Monica to speak at your event.
Well, today on Bridges, we are talking about everything baby and how does a couple adjust to all of the changes and things that happen after you bring baby home. And so we've got a marriage and family therapist joining us today. Her name is Laura Horton. And Laura, it's so good to have you on Bridges today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
We're glad to have you. And you are with, is it called Brookstone Counseling Services?
Yes, Brookstone Counseling, and we're in the Hendersonville location.
That's awesome. So I know that you've had a chance, at least by video, to meet Crystal and Stephen North, the couple that prayed for 14 years.
Yes, yes. Faithful service.
Yes. And so now it's almost time, you know, for baby to come home. But even with wanting a child for 14 years, there's just certain things that we can't do to be prepared until baby arrives.
Absolutely. And don't we all remember, those of us who are mothers?
Yes,
we get home and we think, what have we forgotten?
Exactly. You know, and I thought, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this, and you don't know what to do about the crying baby and how to adjust to life as a couple and now as a family. So help us out, if you would, Laura, with how can a couple, you know, have the right expectations and ease into this?
I think the first thing is just to remember to enjoy. Even the tough moments, enjoy those, because you know you've worked so hard to get there, and God's been so gracious to bring you to that place. I think one of the main things that moms need to be reminded of is to do as much or as little as they want to do, especially that first week. You know, if you're feeling good, then get up and do a few things, but take plenty of rest. Your energy levels, I know you remember this as well, your energy levels just come and go so quickly without any, you know, there's no way of knowing what you're going to really feel like until you're there.
You know, and I can remember, even though it's been a really long time for me, Laura, that there were certain moments that I was just so exhausted. Like, I just felt like it was a huge victory if I just got a shower in that day.
That is a great way to look at it, is, has everyone eaten today? Have we showered? We're doing pretty good.
Yes. So you're saying part of the expectation is just to adjust what we're expecting of ourselves.
Right. And I think it's hard for women sometimes because other women may be visiting in the home, family members or friends, and we want to always sort of put on our best foot, you know, put our best foot forward. And I think sometimes we just need to be honest with those that are visiting. You know, I'm feeling up for a short visit, or, hey, would you stay for a little while longer and let me go catch a nap while you're here with me? It's so important to just be honest during this.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're talking today about everything baby, and how do you change your expectations? How can we make that adjustment, not just to survive, to just get through each day, but really to thrive? And so you're saying, really, as a mom yourself, but also as a marriage and family therapist, Laura, that part of it is just to be honest with people. I know the one thing that I was not expecting, and Crystal and Stephen may find themselves and other parents watching, how many people want to visit?
Oh, definitely.
And hold the baby. And I can be really honest with you and say that I didn't know that it was okay to say no. I felt like it was my duty, since everyone loved my husband and me and loved the baby.
Right.
And I just like muddled through it.
Yes, and I think sometimes that's what steals our joy, is because our heart feels something, but we're afraid to let our mouth speak it. And very similar, I was sitting in my hospital bed recovering from childbirth, and there was a large room of people, and I was so grateful to have them, but I did kind of call my nurse over and say, what should I do if I'm really not feeling up for this? And she said, let me handle it for you. And so although we can't take our nurses home, our spouse needs to play that role. Let me handle this for you. And so sometimes we just need an out.
And to be able to receive that graciously, like to let our spouse or the nurse fulfill a role that really, you know, because of the physical demands of just having given birth and all that hormonal stuff, and crying baby.
Yes, and crying baby.
And just thinking, I don't know what to do to make this child stop crying and get comfortable. And all these people want to come over and visit too. So you're saying just to kind of let our mouth speak what our heart is feeling.
and feel your feelings. One of the things I love to tell really people of all different stages of parenting is keep a short journal that will allow you to look back and to see the places that you even sometimes see in our struggles. You know, as we write them down, we remember God's faithfulness through those struggles. And the things that are easy, we need to also give God praise for those as well. In those early days, there's going to be struggle and praiseworthy things.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, as you're joining us and as we're talking about everything baby today and how couples and people can just adjust to the blessing of a new child in the home. You know, if you're watching and you're a new grandparent or a friend, you know, I think too, if we really love somebody, to understand we've all got limits and not to expect so much of new parents. Don't you think that's a part of it?
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, you know, your best friend may have done wonderful during this season of her life. And so she's a wonderful cheerleader, but she may not understand that you're not doing wonderfully. And so sometimes just being able to say, you know, I love that your experience was different, but this is mine and I need your help with this. And I think sometimes we do feel as women, we do compare ourselves to other women.
Of course.
And we want everything to be perfect.
Yes, I can remember, Laura, that, you know, a really close friend of mine, after having her baby, she looked wonderful. She fit right back into pre-baby clothes. I mean, 3 days later, she's in just her regular clothes, and she was looking great. And at least from the outside in, it you know, it just looked wonderful. And for me, 3 days after the baby, like none of that was happening.
And isn't that just our story, right? That's what makes children unique, is they become part of our story. And I always say, if baby's doing wonderfully and mom's feeling not wonderful, then that's when you let grandparents or best friends come and stay for a few hours and actually put them on a calendar and schedule them. You know, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I need someone for 2 hours today. And being honest is such a part of who we are, and our need to be who we truly are.
And you know, people can't really help meet our needs unless we express them. You know, I know that I always thought years ago, well, you know, people really loved me, they would just know.
Oh, yes. Yes, our expectation to want to be loved. And it's our need to be loved that lets us speak it.
I think that also, you know, even as we kind of focus and celebrate today with Crystal and Stephen, you know, in this answered prayer for so many years and all of that, you know, they're so excited that it's going to be the three of them. How do you adjust, though, to also having couple time? I mean, there's so much going on at this special time of life.
I think that, you know, just from raising my own children and still having 2 more in our home, there's just a time for every couple that they need to lay their head down at the end of the day and say, how did I do with you today? Tell me how I'm getting it with you. Share with me how I can help you tomorrow. I call that the check-in, and it's just so important to sort of say, it's sort of like saying, how well did I do at loving you today? And how much more do you need me, or how little do you need me? And I'm okay with that. That feedback, you know, I think
I
feedback.
love that, and you call that check-in time.
Yes.
See, that sounds so much better than, like, I don't know, some other terms, you know what I'm saying? But like, let's check in. And I think that's so important, because I know for me, Laura, you know, kind of, you know, when I had our son, you know, it's an overwhelming experience. And for those of you that are watching, maybe you're expecting, you've just had a baby, you know, it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming joy. It's overwhelming, oh, I want to be a good parent for moms and dads. And it's easy to kind of forget, well, it was for me, that I was married and that my husband is still my husband, and that we need that time. And so I love it. It's just check-in time.
Well, and as a therapist, I see so many families who come to me after having children, and the marriage has taken a back seat. And that's so easy to do because we still have work and house priorities and other things. But I think these check-in times allow a spouse to be honest and say, you know, today wasn't a very good day for me. I didn't sense your presence with me, and I need help with that.
Yeah.
Those are the moments where we get to give that feedback in a loving way of saying, I know you're stretched thin, but I love you so much, I need just a little bit of you.
Yeah, and to realize too, Laura, you know, that, and I don't think that I realized this, so I probably was just really, really immature, but maybe some of you are struggling with some of the same things, that one of the best gifts that we can give to our baby and to our children is to have a strong marriage and relationship.
Absolutely. And I think that there are two primary relationships in the home that have to be, they have to be nurtured, they have to be grown, and that's individual relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
You know, that daily time of just, you know, God help me see you today. And also that time with your spouse on a regular basis of just, you know, how are we getting it with each other? Is it time for a date night? I always tell young couples, schedule the date night before you ever think you'll need it. Because once you need it, it's almost too late.
Yeah, you know, because the thing is, once you really need it, then it's hard to step back and just be able to go out and have fun.
Yes. Yes.
And so I know what my husband and I did, and, you know, if it works for you, do it, and if it doesn't, that's okay. We even still now have date nights, and one of the guidelines that we do for that is we don't talk about like any household issues or problems. Like, that's just a time to just go and have fun. No serious, just laugh time.
Right, and I think that laughter is so much of what is the fuel for life. You know, we expend a lot of our energy and time into our jobs and child rearing and even friends. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with all of your friends that you have to keep up with. And there's just a special something that comes along with a relationship that just allows you to laugh.
Yeah.
And I do think laughter is truly one of the best medicines for life, you know? And if we can encourage other people to laugh along with us, then you end up with these lifelong friends and relationships so that when the sorrowful times come, those are the people who you've grown deeply with because they laughed with you first.
Yeah, and there's just such value to that. So we're just about out of time, but you're saying like check-in time, date night, just be real easy with yourself in terms of expectations.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. I'm so excited for this couple.
I know, it's just wonderful. So thank you. We are completely out of time today on Bridges. We say goodbye and God bless you.
Prayer changes things. If you need prayer, write to the address on the screen. Call 615-754-0039 or email prayer@ctntv.org.
Log on to www.ctntv.org, where you can make a prayer request, view our program guide, see who's on Bridges, or even watch one of Monica's latest teachings. Log on to www.ctntv.org.